Hello. Yes. That is right. I am, of course, UK's finest One second, technical difficulties. Hold on here, guys. Technical difficulties. But guys, let me know how you are, what you've all been up to, and there is a reason why this is late. I'm going to get into that right off the bat. But two things I want to say. First of all, I'm still on the hunt for a co-host podcast. If you want that to be, let me know. And also, I will be on another podcast here on the Hardcore Sports Network next Thursday, 11 a.m. UK US time, 4 p.m. US time, and that is the Forbidden podcast I will be on next Thursday. So do look out for that. But let's kick off with the first segment here, which of course is what's cooking at the table. So what have I been up to since last week? Well, more of the same. Going to the gym. Actually didn't go my walking group this week. I may no longer be doing my walking group. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to see how things goes. But it I've been moved to 10 a.m., which is just a little bit too early for me. So it may no longer be happening. I did go to my crafts thing that I went to, you usually go to, and get another picture. So I did colour in that right there. And the reason why this is late is because I have got back into my crown green bowling. That just did that about an hour ago. So that's why this one is in fact late. What have I got coming up? I've got more of the same. But you guys let me know what you have been up to, what you've got coming up. We go right to segment number 2 here, which is all about the glitz, the glamour, the red carpet, the Hollywood stars, because it can only be movie talk. So what movies I've been watching since last week? Well, only one in fact, and that one is Mortal Kombat 2. Decent enough movie. I'm gonna give it a rating of B minus. I'm not sure if it was a movie itself or the link that I watched it on, but it wasn't all that great. So yes, that was my rating for said movie. Still my eye on other movies to watch, but I'll let you guys know when I have indeed seen them. Now, there is no This Week in Wrestling History. We do have a little bit of something to be talking about, and I do that with getting right into the studio, read all about it, read your news alerts, because it is time for news and headlines. One piece of news to talk about, and that is WWE superstars take a pay cut. So there are rumors, or there is chatter of who has or hasn't took a pay cut. Let me go ahead and put this back up again. Give me 1 second. There we are. And obviously, you know, that chatter is LA Knight. Yeah. So I kind of really don't know how to feel about it, or really what my thoughts are. I'm kind of somewhere split in the middle. Like the rumors are that I think like people at WWE know that like can't really go anywhere else. I think somebody like LA Knight would last a month in, for instance, AEW, and then, which would just like everybody else, would get a month's push, and then that would be it. We imagine he can't go back to TNA. TNA probably don't offer as much as WWE does, so it is just a little bit cruel. We know that these people can't go anywhere else, so they're kind of forced to take a pay cut. But at the very same time of it is LA Knight, for example. Then kind of what has he done in the past year? So should he have a pay cut? Again, I don't really know. I'm a bit split right down the middle. So I don't really know how I feel about it, but my take is exactly that. Quite, a little bit cruel, but if it is LA Knight, for example, is he really, is he worth what they were paying him? I kind of really don't know, but I'll be really interested to hear your takes on it, get your thoughts on it. As we go to a real quick ad here, a very little small commercial break, because summer is coming in, the warmth is being felt, and it is t-shirt weather, so you need to get your t-shirts and you need to get them right here. That is right. Prosintes Goldman's won. That again, Prosintes Goldman's won. But it is now time to celebrate. It is now time to grab that people's cake, chomp it down, stick up those balloons, count the candles, because it is time for... Wrestler's birthday. So, whose birthdays are we going to celebrate in the wrestling world today? Well, we have three, in fact. We may have more. Let me just double check, but I know we have three notable ones. Give me 1 second. 1 second. In fact, we have four. So starting with WWE Hall of Famer, former world champion Ron Simmons. Damn. Give me with a Hall of Fame theme, Kevin Von Erich. We also celebrate Dragon Lee and last but not least, Tom Lawlor. So a happy birthday to all of you four. Hope you have a great day. Hope you're having a great day as we move right along to talking about today's wrestling scene and what went down with me 1 second with Wrestling Roundup. So nothing of note happened on AEW. So we'll get right into last week's Friday Night Smacky D's Friday Night SmackDown that kicked off with Jacob Fatu coming on out. Then the Usos followed. Tiffany Stratton retained Women's US Championship against Kiana James. Tala Tonga knocked off Damian Priest. Then Rice Keys made the save. That will lead to a match later on. Cody Rhodes came out on the stick. Then Paul Heyman did. Gunther attacked. And Ricky Saints got the 1, the 2, the 3 on Matt Cardona. So let me go through all of that. So Jacob Fatu, Usos were piping up Backlash. Tiffany Stratton retaining. Well, at least Kiana James got the title shot, I guess. Tala Tonga, like I said last week, if they're really going to push him and really make him look like a monster, I'm not opposed to it. The Cody Rhodes, Paul Heyman stuff and Gunther, And Ricky Saints defeating and beating Matt Cardona. Well, Matt Cardona, just a jobber. This really does nothing for Ricky Saints at all, in my opinion. Brie Bella and Paige came out to have their speech, their talk. Lash Legend and Nia Jackson, Lash Legend also came out, beat up the reigning, defending WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Fatal Influence was on the winning side against Rhea Ripley, Charlotte, and Alexa Bliss. Jay Cargill, Meechin, and Beaver attacked the losers after the bell. Royce Keys picked up another win against Tama Tonga. And it was the funeral of the gingerbread man. Trick Williams came out, Sami Zayn did, Little Yachty attacked Sami. So the Brie Bella Page and Nia Jax Lash Legend stuff, cool. Fatal Influence picked up a big victory. Royce Keys, I do like the push that he's getting. And then the funeral of the gingerbread man was what it was. All the top, ridiculous, like I thought it was going to be. Yeah. Of those that weren't here watching my SmackDown watch long, I'm going to ask you, where were you? What else were you doing? But I'm going to give it a rating of half thumbs up. Of course, Backlash that saw Braun Breaker take home the winner's share of the purse against Seth freaking Rollins. You also had Trick Williams retain the men's US Championship against Sami Zayn. Let me go through both of those. So a big win for Braun Breaker. I'm glad that he won. Trick Williams retaining, no shocker there. You then had Dan Housen and Minnie Housen go over The Miz and Kit Wilson. Io Sky got her hand raised high against Asuka, and still your men's world heavyweight champion, the OTC, Roman Reigns. We of course did have the announcement from John Cena, so we go through all of that. So I know a lot of people are complaining online about the tag team match. I'm not opposed to it. I thought it was actually quite funny. You're really going to understand Danhausen's character to get it. And I thought he was doing more than a decent match. El Torito, Minnie Housen can go. The fans booed it, but then they got the fans on the side. So, and my takeaway is that Miz is losing to Minnie Housen. I guess I get it, but yes, your winners, Danhausen and Minnie Housen. Io Sky, like I said, was your winner against Asuka. This was a good match, but I think it went way too long. I mean, this was Asuka's final match in WWE, and many people are saying that. I get it. I mean, we got no Kyrie saying like I thought we were going to get. The John Cena announcement, not always cool to see Cena. But, and I think the premise of the John Cena Classic is a good idea. It puts eyes on NXT, great. Signing John Cena's name to it, great. But I presume the championship is going to be very much like the Crown Jewel Championship. It's just not defended, or like the championship that Braun Strowman won for the Greatest Royal Rumble. It's just kind of a trophy, but it's a championship. I personally don't know how it's going to work. The fans are going to vote, so you don't really have to win, but the fans are going to vote. So I don't really know how I feel about that idea. Instead, I think the premise is good, but will the execution be good? I don't know. And I can see it being you got to go to Club WWE to vote, but personally, that doesn't make me want to get Club WWE. Roman Reigns having a retention, really no shocker there. This was a good match, and my rating for Backlash, if you weren't here to see it, also a half thumbs up. Getting into Monday Night Raw, that saw Joe Henry and Street Profits start off the night on the winner's end. Penta came out to cut a promo, then Ethan Page did, Rusev did, John Evans did, Adam Pearce did, and then it led to Javon Evans scoring big against Rusev. Brie Bella and Paige came out. Then the Judgment Day women did. Attack, brawl, all of that. Io Sky continued the winner's path against Sol Ruka. We're going to match made for Saturday night main event, and we go through all of that. So Joe Henry and Street Profits, your winners. Cool. The Penta, Ethan Page, Javon Evans, Rusev, Javon Evans, and Imperial stuff. Cool. Javon Evans picking up a win against Rusev. I probably would have had Rusev win, but okay. The Brie Bella Page stuff, Brie Bella and Page, and the Judgment Day women's stuff, just hypes up next week. Io Sky also taking the win, so Sol Ruka loses again. Okay. Set and made ready for Saturday night's main event will be Street Profits versus Division, the World Tag Team titles, and Ethan Page versus Penta for the Intercontinental Championship. So he needs third match on the main roster. Ethan Page getting an IC title shot. I think it's really cool. Over Femi continued his path of destruction against Los Garzas. Dominic Mysterio still remains your AAA Mega Champion after sending packing Original Grande Americano. And then Roman Reigns came out. Jacob Fatu did. Raw ended in a brawl. Let me go through all of that. So this is how you make Oba Femi look dominating. You're having beat 2 people instead of 1. Cool, really, really cool to see the AAA Mega Championship defended on Raw. This is great exposure for AAA. And the Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu stuff, I'll say hypes up, probably clash in Italy. And I give Raw almost a thumbs up. Getting right onto NXT, that saw Lizzie Rain and Tatum Paxley victorious against Zarya and Nikita Lyons. Naruku had a triumphant debut against Lindsay Dorado. Birthright were on top, whereas Shawn Legacy, EK Prosper, and Tate Wilder wasn't. Robert Stone in the ring. Mason Rook came out. Tatum Paxley did not. Tatum Paxley, my apologies. Tony Angelo did, and Cam Hendricks attacked. So Lizzie Rain picking up a second victory. Cool, I'm loving this. Naruku, my very first time seeing Evil live, I wasn't impressed. I really shouldn't have gone 50-50 with Lindsay Dorado. Birthright, I think, probably picked up and secured a much needed W. Robert Stone in the ring, Mason Rook, Tony D, and Cam Hendricks attacking. The fans are loving Mason Rook. He's over. They were singing his song. Jackson Drake found himself not the loser against Noam Dar. Dark State came out, brawl, and to end NXT, Kalani Jordan put away Kendall Gray. So Jackson Drake picking up a win against, picking up that Dubsky against Noam Dar. Cool. This makes sense, and I think that Milo Lockwood is a good fit. Dark State coming out, brawl, cool. And then Kalani Jordan ending the night her way. If you're going to put her in the title picture, I'm not opposed to that. And I give NXT also almost thumbs up. So about there, guys. No quite a thumbs up, not a half thumbs up, but somewhere in the middle. And then finishing off with Evolve that saw Coleman Petrovich send to the back of the line Nikita Lyons. Harlem Lewis came out and wanted some words with Braxton Cole. CJ Fowler took a win from It's Gal. And Tristan Angels in a fatal four-way match stood tall that featured Cam Hendricks, Brooks Jensen, and somebody else. I forgot I'll use that with somebody else. Is my apologies right now. Dorian Van Dukes. There we go, I just remembered. So, Common Petrovic, with victory in mind, cool, but Nikita Lyons just can't get it done. Harmon Lewis and Braxton Cole, back and forth, was cool. CJ Valor winning. Well, it's Gal again, another one that just can't secure, can't pick up, can't gain a W. And Tristan Angels winning. Well, I'm loving this from England. And this is what Evolve is all about, showcasing the new, brand new talent. And I give Evolve a thumbs up. So we've got one final segment to do here, and then I'm out of here until tonight's SmackDown watch along. But I do have one final ad to play. So let me go ahead and do that right now. Yes, that is right. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. My apologies for the technical difficulties at the beginning. But one final segment to do, and that is... So yes, wrestling days out. So where my outs and abouts, my travels to and from shows I attend, and I did attend Warrington Town Wrestling Spring Loaded. My very first time, in fact, these were the very first show for Warrington Town Wrestling. Did see a new couple of faces. Getting there was easy enough. Go and check out my vlog for Warrington Town Wrestling. Did go and get myself some much needed breakfast. So, getting to the venue was fine. A nice selection of drinks on offer. But like I said, the show itself was more than fine. Did see a couple of new faces not seen before. Do want to go to a future show. Now, the next show is August 29th, but I will be in London for All In. But yeah, a good enough show, and I give it a half thumbs up. So I will see you guys for tonight's SmackDown watch along. Make sure to be there. Do look out for my SmackDown preview. But do also remember to share, like, subscribe. Share, like, subscribe. Share, like, subscribe. I'll say it again. Share, like, subscribe. And always remember, that is Ricky J bringing the British Bites to the fight.